there's a fine line with being crazy and isolating with an approach to training or even to life and becoming very good at anything. I'm trying to tread that line this week a little bit more and more. The running was prioritized over lifting for the first time in ever. First time ever, maybe? I don't know. I feel like I've never really pushed running purposefully. I feel like I'm kind of lost with any form of KPI. I don't know what to expect. I have no idea what I'm doing. I'm pretty much out here embracing the uncertainty with ramping up the kilometers and trying to maintain any semblance of muscle mass on my body, whilst also trying to lose weight so I get better at running. I'm almost 10 kilos down this year, so that's good, I think, for running. I think that will help. But I started off this week with a 10k at a reasonably fast pace, my second ever fastest, and spent the rest of the week trying to stay alive as I've ran every single day. And I speak to people and I look online as you shouldn't, and you shouldn't compare yourself, etc., whatever. No. I'm looking to compare myself. I'm looking for the weapons. I'm looking for what they're doing. I'm trying to understand why that can work, because that's just the sick place I like to live. I don't enjoy living when I don't have a lot of things to do. I like being a little bit crazy. It's fun. And yeah, so I started running more because the numbers I'm hearing are ridiculous. Like, I'm not doing nearly enough to become a good runner. Like, I've just did like my second biggest week and it was 54 kilometers. It's like 30 miles. It's pathetic. I've got to step up. I don't know how far I can push this with regards to the number of kilometers I can do a week. You can always make time. I know I can make more time. It's just the trade-offs with the lifting. How much do I have to pull back? You still moving reasonable weight, like, but I have to admit this leg session was good, but this was the first week where the strength in the upper body dropped significantly, which is screaming take a deload. It's screaming chill out a bit. But naturally, I'm not listening, because the motto for this year is train harder, not smarter. It's from Ran to Japan. I heard it from him and I think it's great. So I'm going to train harder, not smarter, until I figure out my KPIs. I think there will be a point in time where I'll start prioritizing quality, aka intensity, aka speed of runs, over the absolute volume. But at the minute, I think because I'm such a newbie still, I'm just going to ramp up the volume and see how that feels. Because ideally, I need to be doing the volumes I'm doing now all at higher qualities, all aka faster paces. You've got this like general theory about you got to do X number of hours at X pace to build the qualities associated with running well. And there's people who've matched that with doing less work at higher intensities, and there's people that got good results doing loads of work at lower intensities. And I'm hunting out over the next few weeks what KPI I'll be using. I need that KPI to effectively be weekly, probably be smart to get something like a watch to track my heart rate, because I imagine that's a reasonable KPI to just measure the influences of the training loads on your general health and performance outcomes. But yeah, this back session was another day. I did an hour on the treadmill first, just trying to rack up more KMs, and then went into this. And this was actually all right. The strength was all right here. This was a PB on the lat pull downs, which I was pretty happy with, considering I'd just done an hour. It was shattered after the run. But everything else in the workout suffered. And then the next day, I did push and arms, and none of that was a PB. So it's been like the first week in, I think, like 8 weeks that I haven't just added weight or reps to my lifts. And it makes sense. I literally started the week with a pretty much all-out 10k. So it's going to have an impact. And you can see the sweat on the t-shirt. It's bad. But yeah, it's going to have an impact on the training, and the body weight's coming down rapidly. Big week of weight loss. I think, again, that's just all the running, all the high volume running. I think I'm getting more into it as well. Like, it's my identity's getting wrapped up in this running game. A lot of professional highlights as well. I feel like I'm getting better at solving problems in a more efficient way, aka using less exercises to get down to the nitty-gritty of what's going on with people with pain, to get them out of pain and get them back on that performance train with as little touches as possible. I think the more effective you become as a coach, as someone who helps people improve their physical performance, the fewer things you have to do to get the results that you want out of them. It's mainly just having a better understanding of the influences of the orientation and the relative movement of the bones in the lower limb and the foot. That's just getting me absolutely buzzing as of late with my clients. They're all moving fantastically. Everyone is in a really, really good direction, which I'm buzzing with. More people are pushing the running and the lifting, and they're still managing PBs, which is really, really cool to see across a variety of different body types and structures. I do think the general narrative of this year is going to be finding crazy people to be around in terms of what a normal amount of physical activity looks like. I want that to be upped significantly. And it's a fine line, right? Because I think chasing a goal is a naive and stupid pursuit. I think chasing a process sets you up for a lot more satisfaction. Currently, I just have too many things to figure out with running with regards to those like weekly KPIs. I've spoken with good running coaches and didn't get anything clear, crystal cut like I've got for resistance training. So that's something I'm definitely eking out and searching for. Big thought of mine, whatever that will be. Because the thing is, testing a 5k or a 10k pace-wise each week seems absolutely exhausting. But maybe that's just me being naive and being soft. Like, maybe you can do that and you can just PB each week. You maybe need to just keep the quality higher. I'm doing a lot of runs with Eleanor that are very, very slow relative for me. she's getting faster. I'm not hating. But maybe dropping those down and increasing higher intensity work, that middle range where you're not going all out race pace, but you're pushing hard so the lungs are getting cooked and the legs are getting cooked. The legs have not really felt cooked from any running, which is a pretty positive note. I do definitely think my lungs will be the limiting factor. 2 weeks-ish out for my first ever half marathon event. So that'll be very interesting to see how that goes. I'm sure lots of information will be gathered. I think a big battle will be with the psychological side, because I haven't done any competitive sport outside of padel in a long time. So I'm curious to go through that and deal with my nerves and whatnot. I think that'll definitely be a factor. But again, I'm excited to go through that process, and I'm excited to manage the stress around that and try and get better. This is a good rep. Look at that. Solid. Buzzing. Absolutely dead inside, though. I remember this workout. I was just getting upset because I kept not matching my previous PBs. And everything felt super tough. But that is what you get, like, when you're ramping up another physical quality. Up to a certain level, I think I was riding a very fine line before this week. I think I had it pretty dialed on, actually, with regards to the amount of work I was putting in to the gym and running, that I could drive both. So yeah, playing around with it this week, figuring it out, how much effort to put into the running. Lifting is going to take a slight drop off. Probably a bit ambitious, just keep going for these PRs, but it is so fun and satisfying. Absolute work on the shoulder press. You love to see it. Love these machines. Prime just does such a great job with the machines. I think I'm done there. That's my YouTube video for today. Hope you enjoyed the lift. This was most of my lifting. The only other lifting I did this week was the other video I've already posted. So I hope you got some value from this. Hope you enjoyed hearing my thoughts. Little challenge. Go and do things to a level in which your friends and your people around you start to question if you're normal. I think that's a good place to be. Test those boundaries, test what you're capable of. Let's get it.